Good morning, friends. This is Sonny, and welcome back to my channel. I am powered by Tea and Tarot. I'm trying to do daily vlog style responses to the deep dive on a card a day for the Drop 'em 78 challenge. And today's card, well, technically yesterday's card, because I'm filming this the next day. Yesterday's card was the Four of Pentacles, which my Calibrating deck, which is my single keyword deck that I created on from going through Lisa Papez's Tarot with Training Wheels, which I call my Training Wheels Tarot, which is basically just the name of the card, a single keyword that I have distilled that card down to, and I've added in the astrological and elemental association symbols. So the Four of Pentacles in my Calibrating deck is the keyword security. And I will put a picture right here of the Four of Pentacles in the Ritual Tarot, which is the tarot that I'm using to do the Drop 'em 78 challenge with. And the picture is a picture of a figure either with a statue's head or wearing a mask to make them look like a statue's head. They look like they are in prayer, and behind them looks like a wall of some great fortress. Which the wall is the detail that really kind of stood out for me in this particular card, because with my keyword being security, the first and most obvious thing that popped into my mind was that wall is a representation of that feeling of security, of being safe behind the wall, being able to worship as you see fit because you are in a place of safety, to pray as you want to pray. You feel safe enough to be able to do that. But as I was writing in my journal, I was like, but what if the perspective of the figure in the card is not I'm inside the walls? What if I'm outside the wall? What if I'm entreating those in the wall to let me in? That I need a place of safety and security. And maybe that figure is actually in prayer to their deity of choice, asking for that safety and security, asking to be let inside the walls because they are actively being pursued by something, or they are just in a place where they need that security. And it really kind of hit me hard as far as what a difference in perspective that card can be. If you're inside the wall, you feel safe and secure, but if you're outside the wall, trying to get in, it's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different story. So my big question for yesterday was, am I inside the wall or am I outside the wall? Where am I today? And I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about financial security, because I mean, this is the Pentacle suit, so it's about, physical world around you, the financial security. And I started thinking about how I have never experienced financial security in my entire life, and I have issues with money, period. I always have. I can't save a dime to save my life, like quite literally. I've always been in a situation where I was the one who had to be financially responsible for everything, and I always had more financial responsibility than I had funds. Always. I've never been in a relationship where I wasn't the breadwinner. I've never had anyone else help me sustain living arrangements and be able to buy food for everyone, and I've always had a big family. I have 5 children. I mean, most of them are grown now, but I'm still financially responsible for 3 out of the 5. And I've never really had any help, ever. It's always just been me. And, every time that I would ever buy anything for myself, I always have, these guilty feelings of being frivolous. But I realize that in today's economy, my idea of frivolous is completely different than it was, say, 5 or 10 years ago. Like, even just a couple of years ago, frivolous was treating myself to an expensive indie tarot deck, and now frivolous is I have guilt because I bought food. Frivolous food. I was having severe buyer's remorse because I went to Sam's Club and I got a big bag of pretzel chips and a large container of spinach artichoke dip. And I had buyer's remorse because it was so freaking expensive. That was my being frivolous, my frivolity. It's food. It's crazy. And the perspective of, things are not great. Life is not great financially. But I'm also not the only one. And I do have a job, and so I am paying most of my bills. I've got enough food to pay my rent, barely, because rent has gone up so much. But at least I have a place to live. I have food to eat. I have clothes on my back. There are a lot of people that aren't as fortunate as I am right now. So I need to be grateful for what I have, for the security that I do have. As teeter-tottery as that security might feel to me, I'm in a much better place than a lot of people are. So I need to, number one, recognize that at least on some level I am inside the wall, even though sometimes I feel like I'm outside the wall. an attitude of gratitude, you know. It's difficult. Sometimes it's really difficult. But it could always be worse. It could always be worse. So recognize that sometimes you can feel grateful for the security of what you do have and still feel like you're insecure with your finances. And that's okay. Sometimes you're both inside the wall and outside the wall. So maybe you're inside the walls of the city, but you're outside the walls of the temple, you know? And those things are sometimes hard to reconcile. You don't feel very safe and secure, but you realize when you think about it, you're a whole lot more safe and secure than people that are outside the city walls. Even though you don't feel safe, even though you don't feel secure, you actually are. And being able to realize that sometimes it's okay to feel both ways at the same time. It's tough to reconcile, but it's also reality for a lot of people. More people than I'd like to imagine. So, that was my deep dive into the Four of Pentacles. With the keyword of safety. So I hope that was interesting. And I am looking forward to finding out what the Five of Pentacles has for me